Yeah.
Roma was also a very good-looking guy. He still is.
I got a
What
story
is
about that.
he? Yeah, was he okay?
So the guy set up Roma in Canada, in Brantford, Ontario. So they set him up. So there were guys in front of Roma, and they gave him the line. Hey, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is lay back and let him play with it for a while. And Roma got hot, hot, and he goes, "Let me tell you something. Pat Patterson tries anything with me or comes up to me, I'll fucking lay him out." And the guys kind of just sat back, and Roman just kind of looked, and he turned around, and Pat was behind him. He's like, "Hey, Pat, how are you?" And he's like, "Good, Roma, how are you?" And just walked away. And I think that's what really deterred Patterson from ever. Um, Thanks, Charles. That's what deterred Patterson from ever even thinking about Roma because he didn't want to get his ass kicked. You got to
Yeah,
remember
he.
something. Roma, listen, you could put $1 million in front of Roma, $2 million in front of him. You can say you're going to give him $50 million to be a lead person in a movie. If something questions his morals, his character, or his right or wrong, he will forego all of it and tell you that he will rip your spine right out of your back. I mean, when he had his final meeting with Vince McMahon, it got heated. It got heated to the point where Vince stood up and he goes, "You better sit back down before I knock you down." And he said that knowing saying that would be his last day there, and it was. But Roman didn't care because he was screwing over his best friend. He was screwing over his brother, and basically that meeting was about why are you separating Ray and I, and why is he doing jobs and I'm going over? And Vince said, "Well, we might have different plans for you." He goes, "No, no. What about Ray? What about Ray?" And he goes, "Well," and that's how it got heated because they split him up. So, Roma's going to listen. I've been in situations with Roma. I was with a woman. Roma had got a hold of me and said, "Listen, I need more tickets to the show, man. All my tickets are gone." And I said, "Okay, meet me at the Dunkin' Donuts on Washington Ave." And I was with my girlfriend at the time. And sitting on an outside table at Washington Avenue was her ex boyfriend that used to beat her. So I met Roma in the back and I go, her ex boyfriend's in the front there at an outside table. He used to beat the shit out of her. He goes, "I think I want a coffee." So we walk up to the Dunkin' Donuts, and unfortunately, the drive-through was open, but the indoor was closed. So he tugs at the door, and it won't open. But he looks over at the guy sitting at the table, her ex-boyfriend, looks right at me, goes, "This guy," and the guy staring at him, and Roma goes, "This guy's a minute steak," and the guy just went, he wouldn't look at him.